program, and here are some of your stories in brief. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives rejected a motion seeking to evacuate Nigerians from China over the outbreak of the coronavirus. Members voted massively against the motion raised by the spokesperson of the House, Benjamin Okezie, denying him the opportunity to make a presentation. Elsewhere, the Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, praised the synergy and collaboration with the state lawmakers despite the differences along party lines with the majority of the state lawmakers in the opposition. He asked for a relationship to be sustained in a manner that will deepen democracy and bring about good governance to the people. Visitors to Nigeria now have 79 classes of visa to choose from out of 3 categories, while the recently introduced visa on arrival policy is also restricted to only a certain category of visitors. Well, these are some of the clarifications contained in the Nigeria Visa Policy 2020, which President Muhammadu Buhari presented at the State House in Abuja.
2020 is intended to attract innovation, specialized skills and knowledge from abroad to complement locally available ones.
We'll also hear that security, ease of doing business, boosting tourism and African integration are also some of the benefits listed in the new policy. Well, a former Controller General of Immigration Services, Mr. David Paradang, joins us for more insight into the policy. He joins us from Abuja Studios. I'd like to thank you for joining us at this time. Are you happy with this new policy?
Thank you, Millicent. I am quite happy with the new Visa Policy 2020. And I wish to commend the President, the Minister of Interior, and the Comptroller General of Nigeria Immigration Service for such a policy at this time in our country to address current realities to do with our security, with our economy. It's quite important that we do so at this time. Last decade, about 2012, there was another visa policy. But now, new issues have arisen, and there's need for us to have a new visa policy, which the Immigration Office rightly presented to Mr. President, and he graciously approved. It's a good move, quite a good move, very commendable indeed.
But, Mr. Paradang, there are some fears as to how we can achieve the objectives, and that's without compromising national security, which is the latest debacle in the country today. I mean, should we be opening our borders when we are somewhat trying to sort out our security architecture?
I want to assure you that Immigration Service had considered fully the security implications of the new visa policy. And it's just not actually opening our borders wide for anybody. There are eligibility criteria for anybody who wants to come into the country. Visa on arrival doesn't mean that anybody can just come in. It means there are background checks that will be checked. We have database completely very well secured and aligned to the UN, to Interpol, aligned to several security services that you must be cleared before you are given visa. It's not saying that everybody can come in anytime, anyhow. There are prescribed conditions. And I want to say that most people have not actually understood what this policy is all about. They have this fear, a general fear. It's misperception, really. It's not possible that anybody and just everybody is allowed free entry. Actually, for every visa policy, security is very, very key and is important that is taken into consideration. And this policy has taken that into consideration very adequately. Nigerians should not lose sleep at all. It has been carefully calibrated in such a way that the country can benefit economically from the visa policy. At the same time, no security of Nigeria will be compromised. Actually, that is what government looked at. And it's gone over a lot of years to prepare, and it has also been having a lot of input from several services, the ministries, the security services, and the general public to find out a policy that will advance, deepen our own economy, grow our own economy, further secure us, and put us in the age, in the league of modern nations.
Perhaps we can look at the application process. I mean, it would involve a lot of logistics. Are we ready for that kind that it will require with the nature of the policy? Are we looking at more training, more recruitment, especially for the immigration services? What do you think will be required?
A lot is required, and The immigration service, although we have personnel, is not enough. More recruitment is required, and really training must be emphasized. We are moving into an age of technology now, and really we need to invest more. Security, as the service is supposed to provide, is not a cheap business. And government should not shy away from providing more money to all security agencies to be able to prosecute these policies very well. We are in a modern age of technology, and we must be well equipped. Immigration service must be well equipped, must be provided for adequately. Security is not cheap, and actual reason for any government is the security and welfare of its citizens. And we must provide for that. Train the officers adequately, provide for them enough welfare incentives so that they can give their best to the country. I think we should look at that very squarely.
Let's also talk about the relationship with our neighboring countries. We hear that, according to the Minister of Interior, the first class is the ECOWAS citizens, and they can enter without visa, but on a condition that they must enter through approved and recognized ports of entry with travel documents. But what do you think we can expect member states to adopt in this regard? Biometric technology, and to ensure that security services, there's a lot of coordination and also respect for the different regulations.
Way back in 1979, the ECOWAS Treaty was signed, and the protocols on free movement of persons was adopted by the heads of states and implemented. It's being implemented gradually. Our neighbors have to work with the ECOWAS policy. And it's not saying that anybody can just come into Nigeria. You must come in with a national document. That's with a passport, a travel document. And over the years, too, we have been involved in devising a biometric identity card for West Africa, for the ECOWAS region, so that we can get data on any person coming to Nigeria. Our neighbors are keen into that. We are doing so. You already know we have a national ID card that is going to be used concurrently for travels too. But the biometric travel ID card is going to be quite very essential in movement within the sub-region. And I think it will serve the purpose and concerns for people who think just anybody will come into the country.
All right, we'll see what the coming days portends for this policy. We'd like to thank you, Mr. David Paradang, former Controller General of the Immigrations. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Milson, and thank you.
The lingering crisis rocking local government administration in Oyo State has claimed its first victim. The man who was reportedly killed, Mr. Abdulaziz Issa, is said to be a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party. Confirming the incident, the police say 2 suspects have been arrested while investigations continue. Meanwhile, despite the hostilities from both sides, some attempts are still being made to run the local government secretariats and LCDAs across the state. Some LG local government chairmen were seen resuming full work despite the absence of members of staff who are still on strike. And President Muhammadu Buhari presided over the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House in Abuja. The meeting is the second this year, 2020, where the president deliberates with his cabinet members on policy decisions and government activities. It's a weekly meeting. It holds every Wednesday, beg your pardon. We hear that he is presiding as at now over the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House. And that's our program this afternoon. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to join the discussion via our social media platforms at Channels TV, at CTV Politics, #Lunchtime Politics. I'm Millicent Walker. I'll see you soon.